and welcome to Drive Spark. This is Bharadwaj and that is the 2023 Grand i10 Nios. Hyundai has given this hatchback a lot more in terms of features and safety as well. And in this video, I will tell you what has been changed and what is updated. Let's get started.
Welcome.
So before I go ahead and tell you what are the changes on the car, let me tell you a little bit about the pricing and the variants. So in terms of pricing, it has increased by a substantial bit. Now the base variant of this car retails at 5.7 lakh and the top end model, that's the AMT 1.2 liter engine, that costs around 8.5 lakh. Ex-showroom prices and pan India. So with that, the car is available in 4 different variants. This is the Asta, the top end model, but this is a manual version. We do not have the automatic version. We will test that out at a later date. And also this gets 8 exterior color options and 2 interior options. For the monotone, it gets a dual tone interior, and for the dual tone color option, it gets a monotone interior. Bit of a mix and match there from Hyundai. So this is offered in white, but there are 7 different color options that you can choose on this hatchback. So those are the details that you need to know in terms of color, pricing and variants. Now let us get to the design aspect. So what you see here is not a very huge update in terms of a facelift. What Hyundai has done is they have changed entirely what is there down here. So the bumper is completely changed. Up top, the hood and all the headlamps remain the same. It still gets the projector, halogen projector. There's no LED projector on offer. And when you come down below, you can spot the all new bumper. Now it gets a very squarish shape, sans the design that you see right here. Now this particular element has been changed. You get a tri-arrow shape LED DRL, and the fog lamps that were there in the pre-facelift model has been done away with. It's not offered on the facelift model. And also the vents that you see here right next to the DRL, those are functional vents and not for vents. So it channels air onto the disc brake and also onto the wheel arches. And you get a honeycomb grille here. Absolutely looks wonderful, but there are no front parking sensor or even a camera, which you can't expect at this price point. Also the Hyundai logo that is placed right here is no longer a chrome logo. It's finished in satin. So that is about the changes that have been done in the front. Now on the side profile, the car remains almost similar. You get to see the same profile, same roof rail, same ORVMs, and the chrome door handles for the top end model. That's the Asta one. What has changed here is some beautiful looking alloy wheels. These are 15-inch alloy wheels and seem to be in a motion even when it is standstill. The design of it looks very good. Apart from that, the car looks very much the same and still looks very urban-ish design, I can say. So that's about the side profile. Now there are some changes made on the rear profile. Let's go and have a look at that. So coming to the rear profile of the Grand i10 Nios, there have been substantial changes in terms of looks. Now this gets all new LED tail lamp. Although the profile is same, the internals of it have been changed. And what you see here is a light bar that connects tail lamps on either side. However, this is not a light bar. This is just a reflector. It does not light up. But this element gives a sense of width for the car and looks, and certainly makes it look more wider. That's how designers like to play around the car's design a little bit. And also the bumper have been tweaked. You get these sharpish lines to make it look a little more sportier, which looks very good. And there is also reflectors on either side of the bumper. There is a camera that is placed right here in the center for reverse camera, and also there are reverse parking sensors all across the bumper as well. Now there are a ton of badges here. Hyundai logo is present right here, and the Nios badging is present right here. The variant Asta badging is present right there, and finally there is a Grand i10 badge present right there as well. There are a ton of badges for a very small boot in a very small area. Could have been smaller. The Nios badge could have been a little more smaller along with the Hyundai logo, but that's about it. You also get a rear wiper wash and also a shark fin antenna that makes it look even more sportier, especially with that antenna. So that is about the rear looks. Now it's time to get onto the boot space. So to access the boot, you have a request sensor right here. You just click on it and you can just open it. You get 260 liters of boot space. Nothing has been changed, and you also get a 14-inch wheel, the spare tire underneath the carpet floor that is present right there, and also you get a lamp. Not much has changed in terms of boot. It remains the same. Also, it does not get a 60-40 split seat, so if you have to fold down, you have to fold down the entire seat. That's about the boot space. Now let us go on the inside and tell you what are the changes that is present on that section of the car. So I'm sitting at the rear seat of the Grand i10 Nios, and I can tell that not much has been changed compared to the pre-facelift model, although the upholstery is new. Where the person actually sits, that is filled with fabric, and also it has got that texture upholstery right here, which will be very comfortable for long distances when compared to the leather upholstery. The seats are very comfortable. You get ample under thigh support, you get a lot of knee room, and you get a lot of headroom as well. This is not a small car, although it looks in profile, it looks a small car. Hyundai have designed this car very well, and there is a lot more room here. Nothing has been changed in terms of wheelbase or in terms of dimension. It remains the same. Other amenities that the rear passengers will enjoy is a 12-volt socket right here and a rear AC vent, which is not seen in this segment. Certainly helps the cabin to cool a lot faster, but I will talk about the AC when I sit in the front. There is something that I have to tell. And also you get adjustable headrests right here, so you can adjust it as per your needs, and which will definitely help you in traveling long distances. However, sitting three in this cabin will be a push because of the lack of shoulder room for three people. Although, you know, for short distances it might work, but long distances might be a little tricky. You don't get a center armrest even on the facelifted model. However, what Hyundai has done is they have scooped the seat, and this allows for the passenger sitting in the rear to have more room. There's no seat back pocket on this one, but there is one on the co-passenger seat, and also you get 1-liter bottle holders, which is a cool thing and certainly helps you in storing a lot of knickknacks on your longer journeys. So that is about the rear seat. Now let us sit in the front and tell you what are the changes. There are some changes. Let me tell you about that. Sitting in the front seat, you will enter a very familiar cabin. Not much has changed in terms of design, although you get a new semi-digital instrument cluster. The pre-facelift model of the Grand i10 Nios had a digital instrument cluster. However, this semi-digital unit looks a lot more cleaner, and there is a MID which displays a lot of information, including your average fuel efficiency and other trip-related stuff. The 8-inch infotainment system that you see here is a touchscreen-enabled infotainment system. It gets wired Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and there is a 6-speaker audio system unit that it supports. The audio quality from that 6-speaker unit is little okay. I will not say it is out of the world, but certainly there are a lot better systems in this segment offered on different models. Although the layout of the infotainment system is clean, and you also have hard press buttons for easier navigation, which also you can use through steering mounted controls as well to control different various features of the infotainment system. It also sort of has Hyundai's rudimentary BlueLink connected technology, which will help you monitor your car along with the app. Now that is not too advanced in this, but there are advanced BlueLink connected features that are offered in different Hyundai models, but in this it gets a basic feature. Speaking a little more on the changes, the particular upholstery that you see here on the dashboard, this certainly gets a dual tone upholstery since it is a monotone exterior color. The cabin sort of makes you feel very airy, and it'll have that sense of space. Even the seat upholstery, for that matter of fact, is a combination of art leather, artificial leather, and also fabric. Where you sit has fabric, but where you touch and feel and where you look at the seat, that has art leather, so it certainly helps in look and also in terms of comfort. Kudos to Hyundai on that. Apart from that, pretty much the cabin remains the same. It gets the same round shaped steering with only the tilt adjust. There's no telescopic mounted controls, and on mounted controls part, now you get cruise control on this car, which has been added on this facelifted model. Certainly helps you in long distance traveling, and it gets a single automatic AC single zone, which you can control along with the knobs and the display right there. There is a wireless charger that have been introduced on the top end models, and there is also light to indicate that if the phone is charging or not. And Hyundai also provides a 3.12 volt socket as standard on the top end models to enable another USB, and also it is powered. The wireless charger charger is powered by that as well. And you have two USB ports. The one on the right is used for the Android or Apple CarPlay, and you have a Type-C port right here. So that's about the cabin. And also in terms of storage space, there are a lot. You get two cup holders right here, and there is one slot right here, and you get ample amount of bottle holders on the door pockets. The cabin certainly looks inviting and looks very good. However, there are some misses. The seat does not get an adjustable headrest, which will help in better whiplash protection in terms of crash. That is something that Hyundai should have worked on. Speaking of which, the cabin also has enhanced safety now. It gets 4 airbags as standard across variants. There is side airbags, and there is one airbag on either end of the dashboard. So this car totally has 6 airbags, because the top end model gets the curtain airbag as well. So, and with that, it also gets hill descent control and stability control, which you can switch it off through a switch right here. All these, in terms of safety, it has been very much enhanced, and certainly the cabin is a lot more safer. However, this car is not tested for NCAP crash rating yet. Once that results are out, we will report back with that. Now it is time to take this car out for a spin, and we'll tell you how is it to drive. Not much has changed out there, but still there are some things that I would like to point out. So now we are driving the all-new Grand i10 Nios, and under the hood there are not many changes. It continues to be powered by the same 1.2 liter petrol engine that we are so used to seeing, along with a 5-speed manual gearbox. You also get a 5-speed AMT as an option. However, this engine now gets CNG treatment like most of the models in the segment, but the AMT option, the automatic option, is not offered on the CNG. If you are planning to buy the CNG variant of the i10 Nios, you will have to stick with the manual itself. Now, the other change that have been made to this particular engine is it now complies with the stricter OBD2 norms, which is coming into effect later this year, and it is also compatible with E20 petrol, that's ethanol 20. So 20% mixture of ethanol and 80% mixture of petrol is compatible with this car. It will not differ in the performance of this car. That makes this particular petrol powertrain a future-proof one. Kudos to Hyundai for that. And in terms of power figures, there are not much changes here as well. 83 PS and 150 Newton meters of torque. If you are planning to buy the CNG model, the power figures go down a little bit. Now the power figure in a CNG mode is 69 PS and 95 Nm of torque. The performance from the engine is adequate. I will not say it's a peppy engine, but it's very refined. Over the years, Hyundai have tweaked this engine to perform it better. This is certainly an urban car and not a car that will give you that exhilarating performance. There was an engine which was offered, that is a 1 liter turbo petrol engine. However, Hyundai has discontinued it on this model. Right now, the only engine option is the 1.2 liter. With that, onto the dynamics of the car, there have been no changes to that as well. The suspension rides well, and the brakes offer adequate power to stop this car. So in terms of dynamics, not much changed there as well. In terms of steering feedback, it remains the same as well. It is one of the lightest steering that you could find on this segment. It offers a very light steering for city runabouts. However, we could have used a little more weighted steering when you're doing that high speed runs or even a triple digit speed. You definitely would need a little more heavier steering. Finally, in terms of mileage also, it has not changed much. You would get somewhere around 11 to 13 kmpl depending on how you drive. You don't get drive modes or anything as such. The car just runs, and it offers a decent mileage with this petrol powertrain. So those are my quick impressions of how the car drives. As the car has not changed much, it pretty much drives the same and delivers the same amount of performance. So that was our take on the all-new Grand i10 Nios. Now what Hyundai has done is not many changes, but still they have managed to give it a fresh look by tweaking the front and the rear of the car. Also, they have made the engine to be E20 compliant, and also the stricter OBD norms that are coming up in later this year. So this car right now is a future-proof buy, is what I can tell. What did you think about this car? Let us know in the comments below. Like and share this video, and do subscribe to Drive Spark if you haven't done it already. This is Bharadwaj, and that is the 2023 Grand i10 Nios. Signing off. See you in the next one.